As the sun rises over Los Angeles, a storm brews within the walls of Forrester Creations. In a shocking turn of events set to unfold over the next 3 weeks, the return of Quinn Fuller sets in motion a chain of revelations and reckonings that threaten to tear apart the very foundation of one of fashion's most powerful dynasties. After months in exile from the spotlight, Quinn storms back into the Forrester universe, not with flair or forgiveness, but with cold, hard proof. Her return is not social. It's surgical. She brings with her documents meticulously compiled, time-stamped, cross-referenced, exposing a secret Eric Forrester hoped would never surface. He's been siphoning money from the company's employee retirement fund. Not to line his own pockets, but to inject capital into a jewelry line meant to rival Quinn's own legacy. The betrayal cuts deeper because it's personal. It's not just business, it's war. Carter, now the chief legal counsel for Forrester, is blindsided. Quinn is not just a blast from his past. She was once the woman who fractured his professional ethics and stole his heart. But now she's back, and what she brings isn't affection, it's a loaded gun. Caught between the memories of desire and the duties of law, Carter's conscience begins to fracture. He is the gatekeeper of Forrester's legal shield, and suddenly, he's trapped in a moral labyrinth with no easy way out. When Eric Forrester is served with a subpoena, the panic inside Ridge Forrester becomes palpable. Ridge sees the potential headlines before they're even printed: fashion icon embezzles from employees. The scandal could be catastrophic, not just for the brand, but for the Forrester name. He turns to Carter not as a friend, not as a confidant, but as a tool. Ridge doesn't ask. He demands, find a way to bury Quinn's crusade, no matter the cost. Carter resists at first. But Ridge presses harder, invoking loyalty, legacy, and leverage. He reminds Carter that Quinn's hands aren't clean. Years ago, she tampered with the blueprints for a renovation at Steffi's Malibu home. A seemingly minor detail, an altered stairwell design, almost cost Liam Spencer his life. A fall that was nearly fatal, a secret never fully disclosed. Ridge proposes they use that information against her. Publicly if necessary. It's blackmail masked as strategy. Legal chess disguised as corporate survival. But as Carter digs, hoping to silence Quinn through legal countermeasures, he uncovers something far more devastating. A truth that shakes him more than her evidence ever could. Eric is dying. Quietly. Desperately. He's battling end-stage kidney failure, his prognosis worsening by the day. The man who shaped an empire is now clinging to life and covering it up with every breath. Eric's use of the retirement funds wasn't criminal greed. It was desperation. He was trying to save the company before the board discovered he was too sick to lead it. And now his only option may be selling part of Forrester to a pharmaceutical conglomerate whose resources could fund the treatments he needs, but at the price of giving away control. Carter is stunned. His respect for Eric, already strained by the financial deception, becomes complicated. He sees a man trying to protect his legacy, even if it means crossing ethical lines. He also sees a friend, a mentor, too proud to ask for help. With this knowledge comes an unbearable pressure. If he tells the truth, Eric could die alone and disgraced. If he hides it, he becomes complicit in a deeper lie. Meanwhile, Quinn is unmoved by Eric's silent suffering. Her rage simmers with elegance. She doesn't deny Eric's condition when Carter confronts her. In fact, she expected it. She knows Eric. She knows his pride. But for Quinn, this isn't just revenge, it's revelation. The man who once claimed to love her turned around and tried to erase her from Forrester history. He buried her line, redirected company assets, and humiliated her by pretending she never mattered. She can understand the sickness. What she can't forgive is the betrayal. She announces her intent to go public, not just with the financial scandal, but with the medical truth as well. She paints a picture of Eric not as a victim, but as a manipulator, someone who used his illness as a cover for criminal mismanagement. The media buzzes. Board members whisper. And Ridge panics. As the court date nears, tensions combust. Meetings grow hostile. Brooke tries to reason with Ridge, urging him to put family first and not destroy Carter in the process. Steffi and Thomas clash on whether to stand by their grandfather or protect the Forrester name. Donna, devastated and isolated, becomes Eric's quiet caregiver behind the scenes, begging him to let go of the company and prioritize survival. But Eric won't. To him, stepping down is worse than dying. Carter, meanwhile, is spinning. His every choice has consequences. If he supports Quinn, he upholds the law but destroys a man who once treated him like a son. If he stands with Forrester, he becomes part of a cover-up that may explode anyway. The more he investigates, the more he realizes the truth isn't black and white. It's soaked in gray. The day of the trial arrives, and Los Angeles media flocks to the courthouse. Protesters gather outside. Former employees, feeling betrayed, demand answers. Inside, the tension is unbearable. Carter is called as the first witness. The judge demands clarity. The room waits. Eric sits silently, his hands trembling, his body frail, his mind haunted. Carter rises. He looks at Quinn, implacable, poised. He looks at Ridge, staring him down with a threat in every breath. And finally, he looks at Eric, broken, desperate, and proud. The choice before him is simple, but devastating. Does he expose everything, damning Eric and possibly causing his death but upholding the law? Or does he protect Eric, sealing the truth behind legal jargon, and risk his own license, his own integrity, to shield a man who may not survive the fallout anyway? What he says next will change the Forrester dynasty forever. And in that silence before he speaks, every eye in the room knows one thing for certain. The bold and the beautiful has never been bloodier. The bold and the beautiful mark a turning point, a storm of secrets, betrayals, and emotional wreckage that shakes the lives of the Logan, Spencer, and Forrester families to their core. At the center of it all is Liam Spencer, who silently battles a terminal brain tumor while the people around him spiral into chaos, none fully prepared for the ticking clock that looms over his every word, every look, every breath. Liam hides the truth from his father, Bill Spencer, choosing to carry the burden alone. In a quiet yet deeply emotional scene, Liam and Bill reconnect after a long stretch of tension and distance. It's a rare moment of peace in Liam's otherwise collapsing world, a heartfelt father-son exchange that neither realizes could be their last of its kind. But even as they laugh and remember, Liam shields his secret with a practiced smile. The tumor is growing. The symptoms are worsening. Time is slipping. Meanwhile, Hope Logan is unknowingly walking into heartbreak. She sees a future with Liam, one she desperately wants to reclaim, and she lets her guard down just enough to tell him so. But her words, her hope, don't go unheard. Standing just outside the door is Carter Walton, who hears every syllable. And for Carter, it's a gut punch he wasn't ready for. He spent weeks trying to close the chapter on Hope, trying to move on, even with the encouragement of Daphne Rose, who pushes him to see the situation for what it is. Hope has always chosen Liam, and now, more than ever, she's clinging to him. Still, Carter spirals. His composure falters. Daphne, never one to tiptoe, lays it out. Let Hope go for good. But the hurt lingers. Carter isn't just jealous. He's angry at himself for still caring. And Liam, despite the clock ticking down, doesn't want to hold Hope back. He sees Carter as the better option, the one with a future. In a heart-wrenching turn, Liam begins pushing Hope toward Carter, urging her to build something real with someone who can promise her more than just heartbreak and hospital beds. But Hope isn't ready to give Liam up. Not yet. And when she runs into Brooke, she says nothing about Liam's condition. Brooke senses something is off, but Hope plays it cool too cool. The weight of the secret is there in her eyes, but she won't crack. She promised Liam she'd keep it quiet, and she's sticking to it. For now. Across town, Steffy Forrester is also walking into the middle of a powder keg. When she returns to the Cliff house, she finds Luna in the living room with Finn. It's a quiet moment, but for Steffy, it's a red flag. She doesn't hesitate. She tells Luna to leave, and not just the house, but their lives. It's brutal. It's cold. And it's the spark that ignites something darker in Luna. After Steffy updates Finn and later Taylor Hayes, who immediately reinforces her daughter's stance, Luna begins to shift. Her anger builds. Steffy is standing in the way of everything Luna wants: a connection with Finn, a role in his world, a place in his heart. And now she's been shut out. The need for revenge grows. Quietly, steadily. How long she can resist acting on it becomes one of the week's biggest questions. Hope and Steffy come together shockingly, not as rivals, but as allies. Liam wants the mothers of his children to unite before he dies. He wants peace, not just for himself, but for the family he'll leave behind. Hope agrees to return to Forrester Creations, not just as a professional gesture, but as a symbol of good faith. She even apologizes to Steffy for the past. And in a moment no one saw coming, Steffy welcomes her back. Brooke is floored. The two women who once battled endlessly are suddenly aligned, sharing the same grief-stricken secret, committed to protecting Liam's final wishes. But Brooke isn't just shocked by their newfound unity, she's blindsided by something more disturbing: Hope's undeniable pull toward Liam. Despite everything, despite Carter, despite the silence, it's clear that Hope's heart is still tethered to Liam's. Even if she's trying to move forward with Carter, even if she's entertaining the idea, it won't work, not after what she sees next. Because in the shadows of her own doubt, Hope catches Carter and Daphne in a compromising moment. It's not just flirtation, it's passion, raw and inescapable. Whatever flicker of possibility remained between Hope and Carter is extinguished in an instant. And with that, her decision is made. She's staying by Liam's side no matter how little time he has left. Meanwhile, Luna's thirst for vengeance continues to grow. She feels robbed of a chance with Finn, of belonging, of power. The sting of rejection fuels her. She starts considering her options. And one of them? Will Spencer. By the time, Luna sees Will as more than a distraction. He's an opportunity. He's a way into the Spencer orbit, a way to stay close to the people who matter, a way to hurt Steffy by proximity. And if Will finds out about Liam's condition? If he becomes the next person to accidentally overhear a conversation? Luna can use that. She can offer comfort. She can play the hero. Hope, still struggling under the weight of the secret, starts slipping. She confides in Brooke. She lets it out, at least some of it. And secrets have a way of leaking. All it takes is one wrong person in the hallway. One open office door. Will could hear everything. And still, through all of it, Liam is deteriorating. The headaches are worse. The dizziness is harder to hide. His speech is starting to slur. Even strangers begin to notice that something is wrong. He's running out of time. And the pressure on everyone who knows the truth is mounting. Every decision in these 3 weeks carries the weight of finality. Hope is torn between letting Liam go and holding him closer than ever. Carter must face the reality that Hope was never his and maybe never will be. Brooke's heartbreak grows as she watches her daughter drown in silence. Steffy, determined to protect her family, may push Luna too far. And Luna, wounded and weaponized, is on the edge of doing something that can't be undone. With secrets unraveling and lives hanging by a thread, the next 3 weeks of The Bold and the beautiful promise explosive confrontations, impossible choices, and one devastating truth, no matter how much they all try to control the narrative. Liam's time is almost up. And when that final moment comes, it will tear everything apart.